Your electric bill last month, whatever that number was, it was higher than the month before. And next month it will be higher still. That is not bad luck. It is not the weather. It is a wave of data centers being built across the country, and the cost of feeding them is landing on your bill. Here is the part nobody told you. The single hungriest appliance in your house is the refrigerator. It runs every hour of every day, and the grid behind it is getting more expensive by the quarter. So this video is about the foods that need no refrigerator at all. Real food. Cheap food. Food that sits on a shelf for years and never asks the grid for a single watt. 12 of them. Each one chosen for a reason, with the science to back it and the price to prove it. By the end, you will look at that humming box in your kitchen differently, and you will understand why the people building these data centers will never lower your bill for you. Welcome to the Survival Research. If you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and the bell. This is where we dig up what the system would rather you never figure out. Let me show you the number first, because the number is the whole story. Residential electricity prices jumped almost 7% in a single year. That is more than double the rate of inflation. The people who study this say it keeps climbing through the rest of the decade, because data centers are now the fastest growing draw on the entire grid. You did not build those data centers, you did not approve them. But your utility is allowed to spread the cost of new power plants and transmission lines across every customer on the system. That includes you. There is no conspiracy here. It is just how the rate base works. When demand explodes and new supply is slow to build, the price of every kilowatt hour goes up, and it goes up for the household, not for the corporation, with the long-term contract. So your refrigerator, the one appliance that cannot ever be turned off, is now the most expensive box in your home to keep running. Stop for 1 second. 12 foods. 12 foods that never touch a refrigerator, never spoil for years, and cost almost nothing per serving. The exact reason honey outlasts every other food on Earth. The 3 pantry staples that store for 30 years on a shelf. The protein sources that need 0 power and 0 ice. It is all in the suppressed file, step by step. Scan the QR code on your screen or hit the first link in the description and get it now. Let me keep going. Here is the science that ties all 12 of these foods together. It is one word: water. Not how much water a food contains. How much of that water is available to the bacteria and mold that spoil it. Scientists call it water activity. Fresh meat sits near 0.99. Bacteria swim in it. That is why it rots in a day on the counter. Drop that number below 0.6 and almost nothing can grow at all. Every food on this list lives below that line. Lower the available water, and you have built a fortress that needs no electricity to defend it. If you have made it this far, you already understand more about food storage than almost anyone you know. Subscribe and share this with someone who is watching their own bill climb and does not know why. And remember, the full breakdown is in the documentation. The link is in the description. Now stay with me. The first food is the one sitting in your cupboard right now. Food number 1. Honey. Honey is the only food on this list that is functionally immortal. Archaeologists found honey in Egyptian tombs 3,000 years old, and it was still edible. Here is why. Honey holds only about 17% water, and that water is locked up by sugar so tightly that its water activity sits around 0.6. On top of that, honey is acidic, with a pH between 3 and 4.5, and it produces tiny amounts of hydrogen peroxide, 4 defenses in one jar. A bacterium that lands in honey has the water pulled straight out of its own body. It dies before it can multiply. Cost. A large jar at any grocery store runs a few dollars and outlasts you. If it crystallizes, that is not spoilage. Set the jar in warm water and it returns to liquid. Food number 2. White rice. Stored dry and sealed, white rice lasts up to 30 years. Brown rice does not, because the oils in the brand go rancid. For storage, white wins every time. A 20-pound bag costs less than a bag of chips and holds far more calories. It is the cheapest shelf-stable energy you can buy. Food number 3. Dried beans and lentils. Sealed away from moisture, dried legumes last 10 years or more, and some keep almost indefinitely. This is your protein anchor. Beans and lentils carry protein, fiber, and minerals like magnesium, with no can, no freezer, and no power. Pair rice and beans together and you cover nearly a complete protein for pennies a serving. Food number 4. Salt. Salt never expires. Not in a year, not in a century. Kept dry, it is chemically stable forever. And salt is not just seasoning, it is the original preservative. It pulls water out of meat and fish, which is exactly how cured food survived before refrigerators existed. Food number 5. Sugar. Like salt, plain sugar stored dry lasts indefinitely. It binds water the same way honey does, which is why it preserves jams and syrups. It is pure, storable energy and the backbone of every long-term pantry. Food number 6. Dried pasta. Sealed and dry, pasta keeps for up to 10 years. Its water activity is so low that microbes cannot get a foothold. It is calorie dense, cheap, and stacks flat. A few boxes are a week of meals with no power required. Food number 7, rolled oats. Oats store for years in a sealed container and give you fiber and slow energy for breakfast. You can boil them, bake them, or grind them into flour. One of the most flexible foods you can keep. Food number 8, canned meat and fish. Tuna, salmon, chicken, sardines. Canned protein keeps for 2 to 5 years at room temperature and needs no ice at all. The canning process heats the food to sterilize it and seals it under vacuum. Until you open it, nothing can get in. Look for cans with no dents, no rust, no swelling. Those 3 signs are your only warning. Food number 9, powdered milk and powdered eggs. With the water removed, both store for 5 to 10 years in a sealed, cool, dark place. You get the nutrition of milk and eggs with none of the spoilage. Add water only when you're ready to use them. Food number 10, vinegar. White or apple cider vinegar lasts almost indefinitely. It is so acidic that it preserves itself, and it preserves anything you pickle in it. This is your tool for turning fresh vegetables into shelf-stable food with nothing but a jar. Food number 11, hard dry cured meat. A whole dry cured country ham left unsliced lasts indefinitely at room temperature. Dry cured bacon does not need the fridge either. Salt and time pull the water down below the line where bacteria can live. This is preserved protein the way it was done for centuries. Do not confuse this with the wet cured bacon in the cold case. That kind needs refrigeration. The dry cured kind does not. Food number 12, nuts, dried fruit, and dark chocolate. Nuts keep for about a year. Dried fruit keeps for months to a year. Dark chocolate in a cool, dry place keeps for years. Together, they are dense calories, healthy fat, and morale in a single handful. The little things matter when the power is unreliable. Now, let me show you why these 12 are not 12 separate tricks. They are one idea repeated. Every single food here wins the same way. It controls water. Honey and sugar bind it. Salt and curing pull it out. Drying removes it. Canning seals microbes away from it. That is the entire pattern. Master the water and you have a pantry that ignores the grid completely. No refrigerator, no rising bill, no single point of failure. And here's the honest part. I want to be clear about what this is and what it is not. A pantry of shelf-stable food does not replace fresh fruit and vegetables for daily nutrition. It is a foundation, not your whole diet. Some of these foods are heavy on carbohydrates, so you balance them with the protein and fat on this list. And a few canned items are high in sodium, so you read the label. What this pantry replaces is your total dependence on a refrigerator that the grid is making more expensive every month. So here is the choice. You can keep watching the bill climb and keep everything you eat locked behind one appliance that never turns off. Or you can build a shelf that needs no power, costs almost nothing per serving, and sits ready the day the grid finally stumbles. The food that outlasts the grid already exists. Your grandparents lived on it. They just never told you the science behind why it works. If this video changed how you see that humming box in your kitchen, subscribe and share it. The grid is going to keep getting more expensive. The shelf does not have to.